Hello, this is Maris. Before the start of this webinar, I want to apologize that my web camera was not working during the broadcast, but I think it did not prevent to show the Undead Browser tools for SketchUp users. So thank you and enjoy watching it. Okay, so we should start. So hello, I am Maris. I'm Undead Product Manager. And today I will show you Undead Browser application for SketchUp. And a little bit introduce myself because with someone I am not familiar. And I'm Aris Putrimas, and I'm working in Thermod's company more than 10 years and started from the field surveying. I have captured a lot of projects using laser scanner, photogrammetry technique. And from 2014, I was working as a team lead for reality capture and point cloud modeling team. So I know the process very well. And from 2019, I am working as a consultant for Undead point cloud software and showing how to use Undead software properly. Let's talk about our company. So Undead is our brand name for point cloud software, but as a company called Terramodus, we are in reality capture industry more than 50 years. We have our team and we are doing laser scanning and photogrammetry works in Baltic countries. We have division which are doing the 3D, 2D BIM models based on point clouds. And we are developing Undead software, and that software is helping us to, optimize the process from the field survey to the final result, 2D, 3D models. And about our activities, our CEO, Egidijus, is telling that Undead software development helped us to grow as a company. And when we're facing some problems related with point cloud processing, we improving Undead software, and it helps us to solve that complex issues. And from the early beginning, we noticed that the companies with similar profile like us, which has scanner, doing the scanning, doing a lot of modeling with point clouds, have the same challenges and issues as we do. And we're constantly looking for solutions to streamline their workflow. And it is what we do with Undead. We are helping us, and we are helping other companies with similar profile as we are. Okay, so about Undead software. So we started develop software from 2010 with Undead for AutoCAD plugin, which we have now also, and we constantly developing further. From 2015, we developed plugin for SketchUp. So today we'll focus about SketchUp plugin. And from 2018, we have a plugin for Revit. And last year, we released Undead Browser Point Cloud Viewer beta version that was compatible only with AutoCAD at the beginning. And from this year, Undead for AutoCAD, Undead Browser is compatible with all other plugins. And the Undead development is not finished. And this year, we will introduce you new software suite, not the plugin, but it will be completed solution specialized for 2D drawings producing based on point cloud. Okay, so today we'll focus on SketchUp and browser. Okay, so some of you are not familiar with SketchUp. And that for SketchUp plugins provide possibility to import point clouds into SketchUp at the first, and we have a lot of tools which are helping you find archived information in a point cloud. We have a point cloud clipping box tools. We have a lot of settings to colorize your point clouds. We have features to create the texture from the point clouds, create orthophoto images. We also last year introduced the tool for the model inspection, when you can compare your model with the point cloud. And we have some ground surface mesh extraction tools, some automatic feature extractions, and many features which we using when we are doing the modeling in SketchUp. And today we will be more concentrated about Undead Browser features. So Undead Browser at the first place is a free standalone point cloud viewer. So this software you can use without any license, without any fee. And as a viewer, it has tools to visualize your point cloud, easy navigation, some measurement tools, and you can share Undead project with Undead Browser free of charge with your customers and with your team. But the most interesting part is some unique features, especially for Undead plugins. And I will show some features related with point cloud viewing, and later on I will show how some unique features can help you streamline your point cloud modeling workflow in SketchUp. Okay, so in the market, there's a lot of viewers. Autodesk Recap Viewer, Trimble Publisher Viewer, Leica True Viewer, Scene Viewer. There's a lot of point cloud viewers. But there's one problem. Usually when you're working with the point clouds, you are using two screens. One screen with the CAD software, Revit, AutoCAD, SketchUp, or ARIS, and you're using another screen with some kind of point cloud viewer, just to see how the point cloud is looking as a panoramic image. And the problem is that your CAD software and your point cloud viewer is not connected. What does it mean? You are going with the mouse to one screen. In the CAD software, you're zooming in, trying to rotate the point cloud. Then you're trying to find the same position or the same area of a point cloud in the viewer, and you should go to that viewer, find that position, open that, and see how everything is looked at. So there is no synchronization. And why? It is why we developed Undead Browser, because it is, for us, is synchronization between our viewer and the CAD software. Okay, let's move on. Some technical questions, and it is how it's looking. So in the future, later on, I will show in live how it's working. But as you can see, we have a point cloud loaded in the SketchUp, and we have additional screen with the same view as a panoramic image from scan stations. And some technical information, because we received a lot of questions. And the main requirements to create Undead project compatible with Undead Browser is that your point cloud should be structured, and it should have scan station center information. So usually when you are using Terrace laser scanners, you have structured information. So each scan station is separated, and each scan station is as a separate scan. And if you are not filtering or doing unify, you have structured point clouds. And supported file formats, which are supporting structured data sets, are E57, FIL-ES if you're using Faro scanner, You can convert a recap RCP file into Undet project and other file formats. But for example, we received some questions that asked if it's possible to use point clouds captured with drones together with Undet browser. So not. Answer is not, because the point cloud from the drones is unstructured and there is no scan station center because it is the wall set of a point cloud. And using such point clouds, it is not possible to view this data as a 360 panoramic image. And next slide is how to create Undead Browser project and what you need to have. As I told at the beginning, Undead Browser is, at the first place, is a free standalone viewer. And you don't need to have any license to create Undead project using Undead Indexer. And after that, you can install Undead Browser and open an Undead project. And for this, you don't need to do anything with the licensing. The most important thing when you creating Undead project with Undead Indexer. Undead Indexer is our project creator application, and you should import the structured point clouds, and in the settings, check create Undead Browser project. That's all. It's super simple. You create an Undead project, and later on you can open it in Undead Browser. Okay, so how it is looking in live. So as I told, Undead Browser is standalone application. So you can click open Undead Browser and select Undead project. For example, I will open this project, pressing OK, and it will be opened in Undead Browser window. Okay, so now let's talk about the free features you can use in Undead Viewer. First of all, we have two coloring options. So you can color your point cloud by intensity, or if you have scanners which can take images and apply two colors to the point clouds, you can have RGB true colors. And in some cases, you can set mixed value to have 50% of intensity, 50% of RGB. Because you see in the shadows, there's not a lot of information, but if you move to intensity, you will see some corners. Okay, so let's set to RGB colors. And the interface is very simple. At the beginning, you will see first scanning station and some hotspots. By clicking on the hotspot, you will be moved to another scan station. If you're holding the mouse, you will see scan station name. So it is very simple. And also you will have a minimap, and when you're pressing, you will see the point cloud image from the top, and you can select scan stations, which you can look like open and check how it's looking. Okay, and what is important when we created viewer, we created option to have different groups. For example, external set, internal set, first floor, second floor, because these groups are helping you to open required position. And it is not overlapping, because if you have multiple floors, so there will be a lot of hotspots. And using group manager, you can just open groups which you created in Undead Indexer. And also, when you're clicking on the scan stations names, you can write the name of your scan station and open that scan file. And what else? We implemented basic measurement tools. So there's a tool, get coordinates, when you can click and you will see the coordinates of that point. You can copy that information to the clipboard. There is a feature to measure the z distance between 2 points. So also these values can be copied to the clipboard. And there is some additional tools to measure XY distance and 3D distance between 2 points. And also we implemented post-processing settings because as you can see in this area, I can see any information in the shadows. So I can change exposure, I can increase the shadow settings just to see some information in the shadows, and without these features, it is not possible to see. As you can see, the double mouse click, I'm deactivating these features to 0. But of course, as I told at the beginning, you can switch to intensity coloring and to see how objects are looking in the shadows. So these features are completely free, and you can open any Undet project. You can see it's a different project. So I will show this project in the SketchUp. And what I show now, what I showed you, it is a viewer features which you can use without any license or any fees. And in the top menu, you will see some additional tools like a draw points, translate the sections, and these tools are working only with Undet plugins. And I will show you how it's working with the SketchUp. So now I'm in the SketchUp environment. As you can see, I have a loaded point cloud. So if I will go to the top view, maybe I will activate the transparency settings just to show the situation of this building. And now I will show some features how Undet Browser can help you. Okay, first of all, when you have a structured point clouds, you can open Scan Data Manager. It is in Undet Density Slider, and in Data Class window, you will see your scan stations. You will see created groups. If you want, you can regroup, rename these groups, and you will see a column called BB. It is a bubble view. So when you activating this column, you will see scan station markers. So it means it is showing you where your scanner was standing when you was taking the measurements. Okay, so I will get back to the natural RGB colors. And when you have loaded with scan station symbols, with double mouse click on these scan station markers, it will automatically open Undet Browser. Okay, so during this presentation, I will use one screen. So if you're using one screen for modeling, there's an always on top feature, because without this feature, I will get back to the SketchUp environment and the browser will hide. So to avoid this, I will activate always on top feature. And now I'm in SketchUp environment and I can still I can still see Undet Browser. As I told, you're just clicking on the scan station marker and you see how the scan position is looking as 360-degree panoramic image. Okay, so and if I will hide the point cloud, you will see there's a lot of scans over here. So these scans are from the inside, and if you will click, you will see the view from inside scans. So there is a couple of ways to open and to use Undet Browser. So one way is open view, clicking on scan station position. And now I will show you another. So I will hide with scan station markers. We'll split the screen. Okay, so I will rotate view from the side. Okay, so now just zooming to the building and selecting tool by rectangle, and just selecting area where I want to clip new clipping box. Going up, you see this is area of my clipping box. It's just simply activating Undet clipping box. You see now the slice of a building. So the clipping box is very easy to customize. So using standard SketchUp grips, you can resize. This area. And for example, now I have a slice of this. Yeah, maybe I will increase a little bit or make it a little smaller. Okay, let's see. So now the point cloud is not rotated. We have the tools to rotate the point cloud, but so now it's original orientation, and it's showing the slice of a point cloud. Okay, so now when I'm doing the modeling, I don't see the view to the ceilings or to the floors. And if I will activate internal scans, I can click on scan stations, open view to see how that room is looking. But for example, okay, let's see, I'm opening this scan and I see the beam. And how to see that beam in the SketchUp screen? Okay, so you can rotate the view, you can resize clipping box, you can use move feature to move clipping box up and down, but it is taking a lot of time. And if you will check your modeling time when you're using such workflow, when you're editing clipping box manually, you are spending a lot of time. And what we have done with Undet Browser, for example, I'm just clicking over here, opening with scan station. I'm just looking to this beam, so it's clearly visible. And I want to update my slice of a point cloud. So there is a feature, translate view section in Undet Browser. I'm activating this feature. And now look to the SketchUp screen, and I'm pressing on this beam, and you see the view of your point cloud is updated. For example, I want to see this table. I'm just clicking, and I see the table. So now the coloring is black and white. As I told, we have different colors, so you can use coloring by intensity, but just for demonstration purpose, sometimes not for demonstration, but for the modeling, the black and white color is very useful. And so this translate view section feature, you can update your slice position and find the right height for your point cloud slice. Another feature, for example, I will hide the scan station markers, and I'm looking to a point cloud, and I can't understand what object it is. So how to understand what object it is, or looking here. I clearly see that the wall is not visible. So before Undet Browser, probably I will create new clipping box, resize that, and to check what is object, and maybe we'll move the slice up or down. But when you are using Undet Browser, in Undet reference toolbar, there is a view sync feature. And using this feature, you can click on any point cloud area which is not clear for you and look. And that browser will show you how that object is looking. See, it's a furniture. And it will show 3 scans. And now I'm going inside the scan, and okay, I don't want to see this furniture, I want to see this wall. Activating translate the section feature and just clicking on that wall, and so you see that slice is updated. So it is super easy to find what you need and get the clearest view. The same situation. So it's the stairs, like clicking over here. So stairs handle, and I see these objects from the different angles. See, and it's the same area where I clicked over here, and using translate some features, I can find the required information in the point cloud very fast. Okay, now I will reset this clipping box, activate coloring by true colors, and will show additional feature. So in the scan data manager, I can deactivate inside scans. And using a new clipping box tool, I can, for example, select this area and create new clipping box. So you see the clipping box now is smaller. And if I use this view sync feature, I will see how this object is looking in 360-degree panoramic image. And what else? For example, if you are taking the tour with Undet Browser, and for example, you want to see how this area is looking, or this vent, you can click on any scan station, and your clipping box will be updated to see this object. Even if I will open minimap, so I will go to the different scan stations, another part of a building. And for example, I want to see these pipes, how it's connected with this building. I just clicking on that and zooming view out, and you clearly see how that object is looking in the point cloud. Okay, so this translate with section feature is moving your active view clipping box center. So if you will increase this clipping box, see now it's switched to the preview points. When the clipping box is smaller, it's loading a full resolution of a point cloud. And in this workflow, within the browser, you can very fast find information with a point cloud from the 360-degree panoramic images. Okay, so another feature in Undead Browser, which are working with a SketchUp plugin, where is a draw points. With this feature, you can click on any point of this image, and these points will be sent to SketchUp environment. And now I will use this draw feature with translate with section feature. I just clicking over here, and you see the clipping box is moved, and the point object is created in the SketchUp. So using the draw points feature, you can send points from the Undet Browser to SketchUp environment. Okay, so it is the main features which Undet Browser is offering. And Undet Browser as a viewer, it can be used for free. And if you want to use with Undet plugins, Undet for SketchUp, Undet for AutoCAD, or Undet for Revit, you don't need to have additional license. It can be if you have a license to use Undet for SketchUp, so there's no extra fee to use Undet Browser. Okay, so it is the main part of my video presentation, and I will try to answer to your questions. So I have received a lot of questions related to Undet for SketchUp plugin, not Undet Browser, but Undet for SketchUp. So maybe I will not cover this questions during this presentation webinar. Maybe we'll organize a dedicated webinar to Undet for SketchUp plugin to show the main features of our plugin. But we are receiving a lot of questions if it's possible to use Undet for SketchUp and Undet Browser on Macs. So answer is no, and we are not supporting the Mac OS because we don't have an experience to develop software for the Mac users. And in our office, we don't use Macs, and we're using only Windows OS. So all Undet plugins and that solutions are working only with Windows OS. And one common question is that with Undet plugin for SketchUp, we are supporting 3 versions. The latest version, SketchUp 2022, and 2 versions back, so 2021 and 2020. So with all plugins, we are supporting with SketchUps, because there's a lot of users which are using SketchUp 2018. So I will apologize, but Undet now is not compatible with SketchUp, even if we started to develop Undet from 2015. But we want to share with our customers the product which is working, the bug is fixed, and there is no issues, and do not waste your time. Okay, so let's move to your questions. And Eugene asking, can you support Regal project file format? Okay, as I showed in the presentation, we are supporting Regal files, RCP file. So if you're using Rescan software, if I remember correctly, you can select RCP project file, and that indexer will automatically read ScanStation files, and you'll able to create Undet project. And also this project will be compatible to use with Undet Browser. But if you are, for example, doing the Unify settings and filtering point cloud, and instead of structured point clouds, you have single point cloud file in LAS file format or LAS, so it will be not compatible with Undet Browser, but still you can import that point cloud into SketchUp. Okay. So Arjen is asking if we are supporting TDX file. If I remember correctly, this file format is from Trimble Spectra software, and the answer is no, because this file format is close to Trimble ecosystem, and if you're using Trimble Spectre software, after the ScanStation registration, you can export point clouds into E57 file format, and you will be able to create that project using Undet indexer. And that indexer is our project creation. So first of all, we are selecting project type and importing the point cloud files which you have. Okay, Amark, if I call your name correctly, asking if it's possible to work with a portable scanner like GeoSLAM Zeb Horizon. In Undet Browser, you cannot work with such type of data because it is not structured point clouds, it is mobile scanner. When you are moving your scanner and the scanner capturing the environment, so there is no fixed scan location. I know that some GeoSLAM scanners capturing 360-degree image, but it is not connected with the point cloud. There is no point cloud behind each pixel. So with Undet Browser you cannot use, but you can use this data in Undet for SketchUp plugin. And one tips for GeoSLAM users that usually the data is very noisy, and what we are recommending for some customers, you can switch coloring to black and white, go to the coloring settings in Undet, and just increase the transparency settings, for example, to 90%. And in this case, you will see your point cloud slice very clear. Okay, so another question from Eugene. With Undet Browser, can we create only point in SketchUp, or can we create object as a plane? You can create plane object in SketchUp using using SketchUp tools, but not the browser tools. And for example, I'm switching to RGB colors, deactivating internal scans, taking rectangle tool, selecting area where I want to slice, and I can increase the density of the point cloud, and there's a Undet reference toolbar and feature called feature extraction, and I will set keep vertical feature. And for example, there's a fine plane tool. And when you're clicking on the point cloud, the plane will be fitted to the point cloud. And later on, you can scale this plane. And now it's perfectly fitted to the point cloud using best fitting method. So inside Undet Browser, you cannot create such objects, but using Undet for SketchUp tools, you can create these objects even using automatical tools. Okay, so Tila is asking which point cloud information you can export to a layout. With layout feature, for example, I'm creating new clipping box, and I have a point cloud view, and within that we don't have a direct import to a layout, and we have only export to layout feature. And for example, if I'm looking to this object, and if I will press export to layout, it will ask to write layout files. So let's say example 1. And in my screen, I will see example 1. And if I will open that in the layout, it will show the image which we are rendered in the SketchUp. So we don't have a possibility to import a point cloud to a layout, and you can see it's the view with the point cloud which we rendered in SketchUp. Yeah, so I hope I answered your question. This meeting is recorded in the cloud, and we will share this webinar with you and with our colleagues, which was not able to participate in this meeting. Okay, guys, so if you don't have any questions, so I will finish this webinar. And if you will have more questions later on, so you can contact me by my email, and we will try to answer all your questions. Okay, guys, so have a nice day or have a nice evening, and see you.